Hello, Flosstube. Hello. Welcome here or welcome back. My name is Robin with Crossroads Stitching, and we are here for our bi-weekly check-in. So, if you're new here, hi, my name is Robin. I am a newly 43-year-old person. I work in tech. So I do IT work all day. I work on computers and network problems and all of that jazz. I work in downtown Providence, Rhode Island, with a great healthcare company. And while they do go out there and do all that great work, I just keep the computers running. And I'm fine with that. Like, my level of smarts is keep the computers running. When I get home from working in IT and staring at a computer screen all day, I don't always want to stare at a computer screen, so I have gotten back into cross-stitching and all of that. If you're not new here, I am sorry you had to sit through that reintroduction of weird. I don't know what happened. We have a small amount to go through today, not as much as I would like, and I seem to have lost my wipgo board for the 47th time, but that's okay. We're going to wing it anyway. So I am doing wipgo this year, and the two numbers that were pulled were Dr. Pepper Peeps. Not that. This, which is a pre-printed, it is a Fox pre-printed, and I've done quite a bit of it. I ran out of blue up here, this light blue. Luckily it does have all the shade names down here, shade numbers rather, so that I can go and grab those. But I need to do... I don't know what happened up there. I've been working mostly in the tail. I have completed that whole section, that section, this section, this one, and all the way over here. So that's one of the ones that I've been working on. The other one is a snowflake, and I have not done anything on the snowflake. Not gonna lie. It was called, I pulled it out of Project Jail. Have not worked on it at all. But so I have been working on this one. I am hoping that I will have this finished by the end of January. God's above and below. Only time will tell. The only mail I've gotten lately has been a fountain pen and fountain pen ink. I'm going to show it off all the same because it's really pretty and I think you guys might like it. And if you don't, I apologize. Skip like 3 minutes ahead and you'll be done. So, Goulet Pens, which is my favorite fountain pen place of all time, was doing a special where if you bought one of these pens, and they had like 6 or 7 different ones, but obviously this one with the blue and purple iridescence was clearly going to be the one I chose. And I got a free ink with it. And I was able to get a second ink, and then I bought another bottle of ink, and I got a free a sample of ink. I think I paid like $1.50 for this. But this is Herbin Rose Cyclamen. I may wind up purchasing that because I'm not even much of a pink person. That is my horrible, horrible handwriting. So there you go. But it does come up really pretty. So I got that as a sample. This was the color that I ordered with the pen. It's a really pretty brown shade. I actually don't have brown inks. I have a whole lot of other colors. I don't have a single brown. It's going to take me my entire lifetime to get through this thing of ink. And there's the label. And then I got an electric blue, and I'm keeping these in the boxes mostly because I want a tiny, tiny bit of protection for them because I think they're glass. I can't tell if they're glass or plastic. They feel really heavy, so I want to say that they're glass, but this is the other color I got. The light is kind of picking up some of it, but... So those are the two that I got from Private Reserve as part of the buy a pen, get an ink for free. And then I got the Rose Cyclamen sample, and then the sample was a surprise. So I basically said, hey, just throw a random sample of ink in there and I'm going to be happy. To be fair, I have not ever, like all the samples that they have sent me of ink, because I have done this more than one time, I have never gotten an ink that I was like, oh, this is ugly, this is horrible. And then I got this one. And did I get this one solely because it's called Rider's Blood? Absolutely. Was there any other reason to buying this than because it says Rider's Blood? No. Other than that, I haven't actually bought too much. Cross-stitching wise or otherwise. Well, I rephrase that. I have bought a lot of stuff for my fish, and I don't know that it's going to work. My beta's tank cycle crashed, and I've been trying to get it back on track, and I don't know if I can or if I'm going to lose my beta. And if I do, I'm going to cry, because I've had him for about a year, and he's my little baby boy. He is my angry, angry little baby boy. So there will probably be a lot of crying if that happens. Other than that, what have we got? We've got done the fountain pens. I've done the wipgo update because, like I said, I have not done anything on the snowflake. I know exactly where it is. I could literally go pick it up and name it. No. I did figure out how to get Pattern Keeper working on my PC finally. My hair has pissed me off, so it's going up. I apologize. Okay. Try to have my hair down. Just can't handle it down. That is a me thing. So... have not stitched on the stitch flake. Have not stitched on the snowflake, which was what I put for number 10, and the wipgo numbers that were called this month were 6 and 10. And I know exactly where it is. I could go pick it up, stitch on it. Nope. I have been hyper-focusing on the fox, so wipgo hasn't been a total loss for me. But that's kind of where we're at on that. For my birthday, I did get some really pretty DMC variegateds, because my best friend knows that I love variegated floss. And he also got me these, which let's talk about the fact that, for one, this is a colored pencil roll. So, but the fabric, I mean, apparently I put this on my wish list. I don't remember putting this on my wish list, but I am not mad. I am not mad. So I got this really, really beautiful pencil roll full of colored pencils because some days I can't count or don't have the hand strength. So cross-stitching is out of the question. So some days I just sit and color. Because I can't draw to save my life. So we work with what we got, and I color. If I had more space, I would probably pick up diamond painting for the same concept. Cannot draw to save my life, but I can color inside the lines and or follow a pattern, aka cross stitch. So got those for my birthday, and it was very, very sweet of him. So Pattern Keeper, I finally got Pattern Keeper working on my PC, and to do that, Pattern Keeper is an app, and it is built for Android, and I think you can buy the app for $8, but that's like a lifetime thing. Like, you buy it one time. It's not like an $8 a month sort of a thing. It's like you buy it, it's good. So I have Pattern Keeper. It does come with a 30-day trial version if you want to try it before you buy it, which makes total sense, because why would you buy something if you don't know you're going to like it? So Pattern Keeper works on Android, which means I have it on my phone, I have it on my tablet, that is really slow and does not work as well anymore. My phone works as good as a phone can work. But if I wanted it on something bigger, I would either have to buy a new tablet or see if I can make it work on my computer. Now, the first time I tried to do this, I could not get it to work, no matter what I did. But they updated the software, and so I tried it again. And you download basically BlueStacks, which is an Android emulator. And when you do that, you can basically sign in to Android, and you can run Pattern Keeper. And I like Pattern Keeper, and as someone who has just printed off a crap ton of patterns at work, oh yeah, I should probably show you some of the patterns that I've purchased in the last little while. Get to that in a minute. As someone who has printed off a crap ton of patterns at work, I've decided that I should probably see if I can get Pattern Keeper to work for me, so that I can maybe stop printing off all the patterns at work. Not that work minds. So it's starting to hit me that StitchCon is going to happen. Like, holy cow, StitchCon in like, what, 6 months now? And it's wild to me. But I'm looking forward to going, and I'm looking forward to hanging out with people and just stitching, and who knows, maybe I'll have something that I am going to be willing to put on the finishes table. I don't know if I can put the pillow that was finished for me by Keepsakes on the finishes table, or if I have to have fully finished it myself. I might ask that at some point later in the future. So, because I do love the pillow that I finished. The stitching isn't perfect, but I'm still pretty proud of it. Maybe I'll have something else that I can finish before StitchCon that I'm quasi proud of. I am my own worst critic, and therefore everything I do I think sucks. So, what are my stitching goals for this year? My stitching goals for this year are to stitch more from my stash and buy less stuff, because other than needing specific threads for specific projects, I have plenty of fabric, dyed mostly. If I need plain fabric, I will need to buy that. But I definitely want to stitch from stash a little bit more, and I want to... That's the fountain pen that betrayed me. I got these from Goulet Pens a little while ago, and on our trip to New York, my little Jihao shark completely betrayed me and got ink everywhere, so he got wrapped up, but it was a shark pen, and therefore I had to have it. It writes fantastic. But, so I am planning on stitching from stash more, which means I'm not buying as many things. And that's fine. I am fine with that. So we're going to go through what I currently have. It's going to be a little bit of a whip parade. But yeah, I'm going to try and stitch from stash more. And then, so I'll do a really quick whip parade. And then what I'll try and do is show you some of the new patterns that I bought. As long as the pattern has a cover page. And some do and some don't. So, alright. So in this one, I think I have like 3 projects. I have more than one, that's for sure. Alright, so one of the ones that I have in here is my castle pre-printed. This one I got to do for my partner. And it is going to be all 310. By the time I am done with this, I am never going to want to see 310 again. It is all 310 and a little bit of gray. And yeah, that's it. It's just... Oh, and a tiny smidgen of like a green color. So we have 310, gray, I think that's more 310, and yellow. I'll be able to tell in a second. Let me fully open this back up. Okay. So yeah, it has 3 colors. It has 1, 2, and 3. So color 2 is 310, which is this yellow greeny base. Color 3 is 648. I'm not sure which one of these colors is 648. But that is where the light blue goes, and then the last color is 165, and that goes where all the dark blue goes. And so that is a project for my partner, because it's a castle and it has a dragon, and that's pretty much him to a T. He loves castles and dragons and all of that good stuff. And then the other one that I have in here is Ars Robotica, which is in extended timeout. And it's an extended timeout because I decided to replace 2 out of the 3 of these colors. So I decided the only one I was keeping was the red. So I was keeping the red, that was fine. And then all of the bluish shade, I decided I was going to do that in variegated coppery color, because I'm doing it on this really pretty green fabric, and it's going to look like a motherboard when I'm done. And I think that I got this at a really cute shop up in Boston, and that's going to be where all the cream that fills in is going to go. So those are the 2 projects I have buried in there. And then I have the other thing that I got from the little shop in Boston. And it was, the name of the place is called Stitch Boutique. And it is on Berkeley Street. And they're super adorable. They have a lot of these hand-painted canvases. So it's a lot like the printed ones, but without being so... not lined up. But so this was hand painted. Let me move this. So this was hand painted, and we actually kitted the whole thing up while I was in there. So we've got a really pretty purple, we've got a really pretty white, we've got the 5 shades of blue, and then some black. And then for the tree, we did this really, really fun sparkly color. So this is my mountain project, and I did put this on my wipgo board, so hopefully I will get to work on it when it's called. I mean, I could obviously just pull it out and start working on it, but that's just crazy. So those are the 3 that I keep in my StitchCon bag, along with my Cone of Doom. For anyone who's not aware, this is technically a Conette of Doom. It is a whole lot of 310. I think Joann's or Michael's had it on sale, And I bought it when I was going to do the cryptid salve, which I still haven't done. And it called for like 9 or 10 skeins of 310. And they're like, it is literally easier if you just buy the Cone of Doom. So this, I think, is Project Jail / Project Timeout. So let's see what we have in here. Oh, this was supposed to be a snowflake, and it went downhill fast. This was actually supposed to be the one that I was stitching for my grandmother, that was going to say all is well. And I really still love the colors that I chose for this, and I love this fabric, so I'm probably going to frog that out and try it again. But I screwed up somewhere in here, and these were not supposed to be as close together as they were, and so I have to restart that. So I have to frog that. So that's in timeout. Probably until, like, next Christmas. Who else is in timeout? Le Fantôme is in timeout because I don't want to stitch on something spooky right now. And that is quite literally the only reason. So this is Le Fantôme. And the All Is Well snowflake I got out of a cross-stitch magazine, which is rolling around here somewhere, but Lord's God only know where. So on the inside, let me see if I can show this without showing the pattern. There we go. So on the inside, it has it done in an orange. And I'm like, I have a lot of pretty oranges, mostly variegated. So I started doing it in this really pretty variegated orange on what is left of the fabric from my Amore JBW design that I picked up in StitchCon. I picked up this fabric at StitchCon too. Picked up this fabric in StitchCon. This was actually part of one of the Surprise Me kits that I did. So that's in timeout right now. This is in timeout right now mostly because I have to go through. I don't have a good picture of this because this is literally the only piece that I have left, as I try and show as little of it as possible. But this is Balmastery by the Witchy Stitcher. And so until I get a new copy of this pattern, and I still wind up showing it, until I get a new copy of this pattern, I don't really want to work on this because that pattern page is tattered as crap. But this is where I got to with it. This is also on my wipgo board, so that I can hopefully finish it. All I have to do is finish the hand, and you wouldn't think that's all that much, but it's a lot. And it's mostly 310. It's like 310, and then there's a couple spots of, I want to say it's white. I don't know, because the copy I have is the one that was supposed to be done in all white on dark fabric. Eventually, I will either reprint a copy of this or upload it into Pattern Keeper and work on it that way. Alright, so what else do we have in here? This is Project Jail. So most of the stuff that's in this really large bag is just timeout. But this is Jail. So this is JBW Designs Halloween in the Round. As a spooktacular person, you think that I would be all over Halloween in the Round. And I am. Trust me, I am. I've got this lovely orange color fabric, or orange floss. And I've got this really pretty wild orange fabric. Wow. So I've got this really pretty purple fabric with the orange, and I think I'm holding that upside down. Yeah, the cats definitely go at the bottom. Alright, so that's what it looks like. I've gotten quite a bit done on it, but literally the last, like, 4 or 5 times I picked that pattern up to work on it, I wound up spending more time frogging than I spent stitching, and so it has gone into this little blue bag, which is affectionately known as Jail. That is Project Jail. That is what that is. And I'm not 100% sure, but I think I tried to do it again on a different kind of fabric, or I tried to do a different design. Both of these are in jail. Some people might call it the UFO pile. I call it jail. What else do we have in here? I have, oh, another snowflake that I started and failed miserably on. I can't stitch snowflakes, apparently. I had a bunch of these and the pattern did not have a cover. It was just the straight snowflake design. So I can't show the design, but it basically was a pack of 4 different snowflakes, and they looked really pretty, but every time I try and stitch a snowflake, it goes straight to, something in a handcart. This is another one that is out of a cross-stitch magazine. This is got a little bat, and it's going to say beware. And there's no real reason that this one's in timeout, other than because I don't feel like carrying the pattern with me all the time. And so I'm stitching this on a really pretty hand-dyed fabric, and then I'm using Naughty by Live and Die LA. This is probably one of my favorite flosses of all time. They could just keep making it and I would be happy. And I only had a little bit of it when I started that project. And then they had some more that they had on sale. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. I'll get more of it then. These were supposed to be colors for more of those snowflakes. And that's just how they show up. That's literally just how they show up. And like I said, it is deemed that I cannot, at this time, stitch a snowflake to save my life. Don't know why. No idea. Just can't stitch snowflakes. I can stitch other stuff, just not snowflakes. So this is my jail / project timeout pile. I would like to say that I do not have a hand-dyed floss problem, but people would know I was lying. I've got this little guy right here, and I have no idea what's in it. I think this is my ornate autumn sampler, or ornate Halloween sampler. I would be right. This is my ornate Halloween sampler. I have done exactly this much of it. This is Enchanted Forest from Bestitch Me. It is 16 count Ada. I don't remember what this was. I want to say it's Campfire. And then this is from Night Spirit Studios, and this is the Ornate Halloween sampler. Instead of doing the darker bits, or I may do the darker bits, but just not in another color, but I'm doing all of the orange in that really pretty like campfire-y color. So this I have to frog and restart. This is supposed to be Tiki Time or Tiki Time. It's by Ink Circles. Now that I have my pattern keeper working a little bit better, I will get that into pattern keeper so that I can better figure out what I'm doing, but I'll have to frog that and restart that. I did get the fabric from Ink Circles, but I didn't get the physical copy of the pattern. I only got the PDF of the pattern, which that's fine too. So this is the last of my, well, so the fox, the tiger, the castle, and the wolf. So I have 4 pre-printeds. You might kind of sort of be able to see a tiger face in that. This one I'm doing for me because I love tigers. This is the bag that I got from StitchCon, and I love it so much. It is just the perfect size and the perfect shape, and I'm begging my project to go back in this bag. We're not doing great, man. So we're doing a little bit of a whip parade. I should have like pre-opened all of these bags. Past me decided to set current me up for failure. Okay. I think I have 2 projects in this one. I was using this as the project bag I was taking to work for a while because it can hold 2 projects. So this was going to be another snowflake. I was going to do it in this soft green. I don't know why. It just looked really pretty. And that scrap of fabric is one that I got in the Bago Bits from Live and Die LA. This is my Narwhal Snow Globe. Narwhal Snow Globe. This is the one that I'm stitching over to. This is the one I had to learn how to stitch over to. Super fun. I was supposed to finish that in November because the cross-stitching chat that I'm on Discord declared it Narwhal November. I did great with that, as you can see. Alright, this is another whip. I only have the PDF of this pattern, and now that I've got, like I said, Pattern Keeper working again, I will try and get back on this. I horribly sliced this fabric in half. This is going to be a black snake. It's going to have a couple moons on it. It's really, really pretty. I loved the pattern. Like I said, do not have the pattern to show because I don't have a printout of it. I may actually go in and just print out the front pages of a lot of these designs so that if I show them off again, you guys can at least see what it's going to become instead of 3 lines of black. That one obviously hasn't been on the hoop in a while. This is my Stacy Nash Primitives Haunted Stitches needle book. So that's what it's supposed to look like when it's finished. And this is a picture of the front and the back, and that's with it all finished with the ribbon and everything. You basically just fill it with batting, and you have a little needle book, which is super cute. And one of these I have stitched on, I swear to God. So my cauldron's a little wonky. I clearly miscounted something somewhere along the way, and I haven't quite decided if I'm just not going to finish this or if I'm just going to let my cauldron be a little wonky. Honest to God, I don't think that, since I'm stitching this stitch book for myself, I kind of don't mind the imperfection. If I was stitching it to give it away, I would definitely mind the imperfection. We have my Star Wars, which came in the Star Wars bag. And it's the May the 4th Be With You pattern from Forbidden Fiber Co. And it is a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. I haven't done much on this one because I've got to fix the A in it, and it's driving me crazy. Alright, this is my wolf pre-printed. I'm actually getting sort of kind of close to a finish on this guy. I will probably never want to see grays again when I'm done with this, because they have made me absolutely crazy. Because this is like 84 shades of gray. Like dark gray, bluish gray, sort of kind of gray. Yeah. Alright, next we have one of these is supposed to have a pretty picture on it. Well, that's great. That's the back. Where's the front? Oh, Lord have mercy. This is my Moonlight sampler. I got this to start at StitchCon last year. Yeah, I definitely still have the back. It would be really, really nice if I had the front. I know the front got stuck to the bag a little bit, and so some of it came off, but I don't think that I would have gotten rid of the front. But here is at least the back, and you can see that that's just the alphabet from it. I'm not big on samplers, but this does have my favorite quote from the poem The Old Astronomer and His Pupil, The Old Astronomer to His Pupil by Sarah Williams. And the quote is, "Though my soul is set in darkness, it will rise in perfect light. I have loved the stars too fondly to be fearful of the night." That is probably one of my favorite quotes of all time. And therefore, that is why that is probably one of the only samplers I'm ever going to stitch. We also have Lunar Witch. And again, Lunar Witch is kind of sticking. And I have gotten not very far, but I've gotten sort of far. The fabric that I got was done by Live and Dye LA, and they basically did like a kit where you basically got the fabric and the pattern all together. The next one that I'm working on is my Dune bookshelf, which is for my dad. And we have managed to sort of kind of stitch the Box of Pain, one of the books, and then we're starting on the Mentat juice, which is the juice of Safu. My family is a whole big family of nerds and sci-fi people. I am named out of a sci-fi novel, which we'll get into in a few minutes when I get to my patterns. This is my Hallows Eve Haunting. I was trying to do that over 2 on the fabric that Live and Dye LA sent out in their Halloween box 2 years ago? Yeah, 2 years ago. 2021. And I was having an awful time stitching over 2 because I haven't figured it out yet. So I moved it from the 28 count Lugana that they gave us to a 14 count because I figured out I can do it. If I do it in halves, I can do it over 1. Then I have... Yeah, that's all the threads for that. And then I have... I don't have this pattern printed out. And we can see exactly how far I've gotten. But I have this pattern on Pattern Keeper, or I'm going to be pulling it into Pattern Keeper. That's eventually going to be the Welcome Foolish Mortals from the Haunted Mansion, and I believe that is from the Witchy Stitcher. If it's not from the Witchy Stitcher, then it's definitely from Night Spirit Studios. What the heck is this? Okay. Those are most of my works in progress. Actually, that's all of them. That's all that I can lay my hands on right now. I was working on this bookmark when I went to get my hair done because it typically takes a while. I found the pattern and I was having trouble following it, but I knew I could do the border without the pattern. So that's what I did. I stitched in hand because I do not have a hoop that is small enough to handle that thing in any way, shape, form, or fashion. Alright. New patterns. So I am part of Night Spirit Studio and Witchy Stitcher's Patreon, which does get me some pretty cool things. I'll show you two. So this is Yule by the Witchy Stitcher, and this is the June pattern of the month, which is Bloodmouth, which says vampire. Because, as I said, we love all things spooky in this house. So one of the new patterns that I got was from Wild Violet Cross Stitch, and this was actually a suggested. I have the shop.com, well, the shop app on my phone, and a lot of the small businesses that I know, Live in Dialé, the Goulet Pen Shop, and a couple others, use the shop app for their payment taking. So you can track a lot of stuff through the shop app, so I have it on my phone. But this was a suggested shop. It's called Wild Violet Cross Stitch. I found that, fell in love. It's called The Fox and the Crow. This is a Taylor and Cromwell pattern, and the front's a little messed up, but this is from the Pern series, and it is by Taylor and Cromwell, and I forget when they put this out, but it is called Hope and Promise. Those are all the fire lizards that the main character Menali or Menali, depending on which pronunciation group you're in, had. Well, one of each color of, no, actually those are all hers, because she had one blue, two greens. So Beauty is the gold one, Rocky and Diver are the two browns, the greens are Auntie 1 and Auntie 2, the bronzes I cannot remember, and the gold was the Queen, which is Beauty. And the phrase is, "O tongue give sound to joy and sing of hope and promise on dragon wing," which is a song that the character Menali wrote. And these are her fire lizards. And that is who I am named after. So, I had to buy that. I had to buy that instantly. I have never hit add to cart as fast as I did right then. So, and then I got this one also from Wild Violet Cross Stitch. It is the Victories Laurel Wreath and Key. And I love keys and that kind of iconography. So I picked that up because I think it'll be a cute little stitch for my desk. And if I could stop moving my little phone tripod, I'd be happier. You know, it would be really nice if I could find the rest of my patterns. So I got this room from another Flosstuber, and I'll tag her below because I'll be darned if I can remember her name. But she was stitching this, and I then had to go and rewatch her Flosstube until I could see this picture so that I could find that name, because how I heard it and how it's spelled were two totally different things. But this is another Pern pattern, and it is all the weirs of Pern. And so it is Fort, Bendon, Southern, Telgar, High Reaches, Monaco Bay, and Istaweir. And again, it has the O tongue give sound to joy and sing of hope and promise and dragon wing. And she made an edit to hers, and I'm going to make an edit to mine. I think she moved hers over so that it would be a little bit more even, but oh yeah, because I didn't say them all. So it's Fort, Bendon, Southern, Telgar, High Reaches, Monaco Bay, Eastaweir, and Eigen. It would be helpful if I remembered that the Eigen was down there. So she moved Eigen up into over here. I think I'm going to leave Eigen where it is, but she's adding a white dragon, and I too will be adding a white dragon, because this does showcase all of the dragon colors except white. Granted, there were not a lot of white dragons, but there was a white dragon, and therefore he will go on. Her name was Ruth. Their name was Ruth. And they were ridden by Jackson. And yeah, so this is the Welcome Foolish Mortals. I decided to print it after I was trying to do the pattern without a pattern, where I was just kind of following it along on my computer. Did not work well for me, so I went ahead and printed it. And then I've got one more from Wild Violet. This is Winter Solstice by Joan Elliott. I may have shown that off before, because that was another one that I clicked add to cart so fast. Alright, it should be in here. There it is. And this is Moonlight Owl. I have a thing for owls, so that was an immediate purchase. But yeah, Shop app recommended this little cross-stitch shop to me, and I bought this all straight through the Shop app. Did not hesitate. But they're small pattern purchases that I'm hoping will help me use up some of the fabric that I have in my stash, and will help keep me stitching from my stash this year. I have plenty of patterns. I have plenty of fabric. I probably need more floss, but other than that, I have stuff, and I should probably stop buying new stuff and start using the stuff that I have. So until StitchCon, I'm going to try very hard to be on a low buy, only buying, like, if I decide I'm going to start this one specific project, to buy the threads needed for that one project. That is how that is supposed to go. And I'm hoping that it'll just help me keep it together and not spend as much, so that I can kind of pay down some of my bills. Because a couple of my credit card bills are pretty high, and I'd like to get them paid off, if not paid down, if not paid off, was how that was supposed to go. And that was my project throwing itself off the couch. It has been a fun couple of weeks, seeing as how I have kept this very consistent over the past 6-ish months. I am going to try and start bumping up the regularity to every week. because maybe if you guys see my face more often, it will help. So that's what we're going to try. We're going to try and bump up the frequency to every week. And I'm going to keep stitching, and I'm going to keep writing, and I'm going to keep being weird, because that's all I can do. I hope you have a great week. I hope that your stitching is good, and I hope that the frog does not find you. I will try and keep him here at my house, because he loves me. The frog loves me. And if you don't know what I mean by frog, and you've made it this far into the video, that's when you have to, like, pull stuff out, and it's because you have to rip it, aka the frog. And there's a lot of people on the cross-stitch Discord that you're either Team Fudge It or Team Frog It. Typically, I live in the Team Fudge It zone. Sometimes you have to frog. It's just what it is. I hope you all have a great week. I hope you all have lots of fun and happy stitching. And I will talk to you, hopefully, next weekend.